Howdy Crossroads, and welcome to week 5 of Crossroads Football Live. I'm your host Gino Perez, and we will have highlights from last night's games and tonight as well. And we also have a surprise for you tonight from the athlete from Victoria East who had a big game last night. But before we get to that, we got results from tonight's game, and let's see where majority of y'all thought the game was going to go between Ganado and Shiner. The results are in. Let's see if we can get those. All right, Ganado 73% and Shiner 27%. We'll have to see if y'all were right. Let's go ahead and jump into those highlights. Ganado looking for revenge against a team that dominated them as of late, and Shiner hoping to not go 0-5 for the first time in a long time. Ganado, though, coming out looking sharp as Bryce Ullman under center, trying to go big against a team that's beat him multiple times. He flicks it over the middle. Austin Pena tumbles his way in for the score. Ganado up 7-0 on to the second quarter. Ganado with the lead still, and within striking distance, Austin Pena powers his way in for the score. 14-0, Indians with the lead. Shiner's offense just could not get anything going, getting tackled right before anything could get going, and the Comanches defense trying to get things going on defense, but just cannot. They get sacks, but just no turnovers. And unfortunately, it would end up 14-0 at halftime. And now let's see if we can go to Zach Brown. Oh, here's the score right here, 28-6. Ganado goes on to win that game. Shiner's going to take on Bloomington next week, and Ganado will take on Kennedy. Well, let's go to Zach Brown, who is in the cleanest little town in Texas with the winning coach. Zach?
Thanks, Gino. Here with the victorious head coach of the Ganado Indians. And coach, Week 1 victory over a tough Shiner team. How huge is it to be able to get the Week 1 district victory?
Anytime you can win a game, I mean, it's huge for the program. Kids work so hard throughout the week, coaches as well, and it feels good to get the win. But when it's district, obviously everything from here on out matters towards the result, the final result of the season. So it was nice to be able to come on the road and come away with the win.
Now, you told me earlier this week in practice that even though Shiner's record isn't like what it normally would be, they're still not a team you want to overlook. I mean, how big did that play a role in your preparation this week, because you guys came out here and put the pedal to the metal?
Oh, it was huge. I mean, the kids bought in that idea too, that it doesn't matter who we play. You can't overlook anyone. Last year we found that out, and we learned from it this year, and I'm just glad that the kids did buy into that fact that it don't matter who you play, you just got to come out and play the best you can, and I thought they played pretty well tonight.
Without a doubt. And your offense looks well balanced. They look very tough. Bryce looks like he protects the ball very well, but your defense has given up an average of less than 10 points per game. How huge is that going to be going forward in a very tough district?
Oh, for sure. I mean, if our defense is firing on all cylinders, we could have a really good season, because our offense is clicking pretty well too at times. We need to be more consistent, but yeah, the defense played phenomenal tonight, shutting them out in the first half, and then second half, Shiner made some good adjustments, drove the ball on us, but we were able to finish it out at the end.
All right, awesome, Coach. Congratulations on your victory.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, so 28-6, final score here at Comanche Stadium. Gino, I know you've got a special guest in the house. I don't want to take up too much of your time, so I'm going to go on and throw it right back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Zach. And that guest is coming up in just a little bit. The Victoria West Warriors, though, coming off a bye, hoping to get its first win of the year against Corpus Christi King. Let's check out how that went. King with the ball early on. And, I'm sorry, we forgot about the cheerleaders. Can't forget about them. And, of course, the fan section. Of course, you got to, celebrate them a little bit. But King with the ball. First up, James Miles with the ball running around, and he finds a wide open man who gets a block, and he's down the sideline for a big gain for King. Can they do something? Same drive again. Miles drops back, looking around, and he finds his tight end over the middle, Jason Nunez, for another big gain on the verge of scoring, but unfortunately would turn the ball over on downs. West on their first snap. This one almost goes into the end zone. Could have been a safety or a touchdown, but neither would happen. The offense can't get anything done, so the special teams, Zorian Barfield, says, hey, I'll do the rest. He makes people miss. Swoop! Spin a little round. Is he going? Another juke. Can he take it all the way? Oh no, he's finally brought out of bounds into Mustang territory, but not long after that, Kamari Montgomery gets the call, and he powers his way in for 2 yards out. West goes up 6-0 early on. Then it got ugly. West, Tommy Perez, like a ball hawk, snatches it out of the air for the interception, giving the Warriors great field position. And Montgomery scores his second of the night. But it's like an infomercial. When there's one, there's much more to come. Montgomery finds the end zone again for the third time before half to give his team a 19-0 lead with 6 minutes left before halftime. The Victoria West Warriors are victorious 53-0, get their first win of the year. Next, West will play Moody, hopefully to go to a 2-game win streak. Well, coming up after the break, like I said, we'll have a special guest and we'll have highlights from Victoria East, Refugio, and Cuero. So grab a drink and a snack, but don't go anywhere because we'll be right back. For sticking around with us. Like I said, we have a surprise, and I do. Everybody welcome Victoria East Titan, Nigerel Prater. You're my first live guest in 4 years. Woo, yeah, everybody give me a round of applause. This is amazing. But before we get to the highlights about how you did yesterday, we got to learn a little bit about you. So you got a new head coach for your senior year. How's it been so far?
You know, it's been amazing. We love our new coach. He's really brought us together as a team and as a family, and you know, we're excited for what's to come.
Now, you had a big game. Do you know how many stats you had last night?
I think I had 3 rushing touchdowns, a passing touchdowns, and 195 yards.
Okay, almost athlete of the week material, if I do say so myself. We'll have to hold off on that for a little bit. But you play quarterback, you play running back, you play receiver. Which one's your favorite?
I'd say my favorite is probably the receiver. You know, being out there, able to catch passes, and being able to be a utility and being able to block for my quarterback and my running backs coming out the backfield.
All right, well, let's go ahead and jump into those highlights from last night, which featured this guy most of the time. It was in Corpus Christi on a Thursday night, and we start with the man to my right, Nigerel Prater. He gets the handoff. Tell me, what were you thinking right here?
J.D. Williams behind me. You know, I know he's going to lead his way into the hole, so I just was patient and let him make a great block for me.
All right, and unfortunately, they scored right back. What was Coach telling y'all?
You know, we weren't really worried about it because, you know, it was the first drive. You know, our defense was just getting settled in. We know we have a really good defense, and so we weren't really worried.
I mean, you weren't worried. You just dropped a dime, almost 50 yards for the touchdown, and then you go for 2 and you throw it over there too. I mean, when I saw this, I thought you were the quarterback the entire time, but you were only in Wildcat formation. Now you got to take me. You got to, after this defense comes up with a fumble from this one, you got to talk me through. Call the highlight for the 50-yard. It's coming up. The 50-yard run. Just take me through it.
You know, when I take the handoff from the left, it was like counter to the left. All I seen the hole, great blocks, and it was there. It was just a track meet.
Track meet and Superman too, man. I love that at the end. Victoria East goes on to win in big form. They were coming off a bye week. They get their first district win, 43-7. East will take on C.C. Miller at home next week. What's your prediction for that game?
You know, of course, I definitely think we're going to win. It's going to be a tough fight. You know, they're a very good team, and I'm very excited.
All right. Well, thank you, Nigerel. We appreciate you. Now we head to the Battle of the Bobcats in Refugio. This game also happened on a Thursday night between Bloomington and Refugio. This game looks similar to the last. Refugio being dominant early on. Jordan King would get the handoff, and he's, like Najee said, track meet. See you later, alligator. He goes plus 50 yards for the touchdown. 65 actually. They go up early on. You've been watching, I'm sure, keeping up with Refugio and Bloomington. What have you seen from Refugio so far?
I've seen a really good team. I know they're very physical and they love to play football. I know they're a really dominant team.
Yeah, and they're favorites to win state for a reason. Kai Whitmore, see you later. Nobody's catching him as they put points on the board. And it was Jason Herring's birthday yesterday, so big shout out to him. When's your birthday?
My birthday is actually next month.
Oh, next month. So happy early birthday to Mr. Prado over here. The Refugio Bobcats get the win 61-0 in convincing fashion. They'll take on Three Rivers for its second district game. Meanwhile, Bloomington will have a short memory because they'll be taking on Shiner. Now, it's the battle of the unbeatens at Veterans Memorial Stadium where Cuero and Beeville battle it out. Any predictions for this one? Who do you think is going to win, Cuero or Beeville? Both 4-0.
Well, I am from Cuero, so I got to go with my.
I didn't know you were from Cuero. Well, Cuero will get the ball early on. 5 minutes left. Mason Otaro finds his receiver. Oh, see you later. He gets swung down, but hey, that's okay. Cuero Gobblers proud and loud. And Mason Otaro once again tossing it out to the left-hand side. Wow, Cuero's not being able to get anything going so far. Dalen Gibbs, though. Oh, no, Notaro, he said, I'm going to do it myself. I'm tired of handing the ball off and pitching it around. Notaro's just going to take it in for the score, and they go on to win the game 49-21. I guess your prediction was right. Giddings and Cuero will face off next week. Now we're just going to run through all these scores where the Calhoun Sandcrabs, they had a big game, 21-14, but they fall. They lose 2 in a row. They'll play Lavernia next week. And the El Campo Ricebirds, 3 in a row for them as well, 48-14 over the Navasota Rattlers. El Campo will play Bay City next week in Bay City. That'll be a game that most people will want to watch and keep their eye on. The Yoakum Bulldogs also get a victory, 34-14. Yoakum Bulldogs will play Waco La Vega next. And after that, the next game we have is Industrial Cobras and Goliad Tigers. The Goliad Tigers pull out the upset win 28-8. Cobra will play Mathis, and the Tigers will be on bye the following week. Next up after that, we go to the Palacios Sharks, and what? They get their first win of the year, 9-8. What a low-scoring game, but hey, if you get it done, you get it done. Palacios will take on Aransas Pass next week. Following that, we go to Hallettsville. Hallettsville bounced back after losing last week. They go 27-7 over the Central Catholic Buttons. I don't think I've ever heard that name in my life before, but hey, a name's a name. The Tidehaven Tigers, they win 52-0 over Rice Consolidated. Tidehaven Tigers still on a roll, undefeated, ranked number 3 in the state. Yorktown Wildcats, they get a win in overtime. Don was teasing it early on. They go on and win 36-30 over Somerville. They'll take on Burton next week. Shiner St. Paul, they also get a win in a clutch fashion that is, 49-43 over Brentwood Christian. And next, let's go to the Indians. The Indians also win 5-0, one of the few undefeated teams in the area, 23-0 over Northland Christian. Sacred Heart will take on Bay Area Christian next week. And then lastly, the Victoria Gators. They call this one getting 45, meaning they lost 51-6. They lost by 45 points. That's a term in 6-man. The Gators will take on St. Francis Episcopal next week. Well, that'll do it for this edition of Crossroads Football Live. Hope you enjoyed our surprise. Thanks for watching. And if you need a sports score or a highlight, come to our website at crossroadstoday.com. Download our app. It's free.